Gray Bears Nation, we told you we had a special guest, and you guys know that we're starting the celebration of our 1-year anniversary, and it's no other way to kick it off than, especially around this time as NFL training camps are getting ready to start, and with somebody who knows that situation better than most, probably better than anybody, definitely better than the four of us, a former NFL All-Pro safety, somebody who has taken the NFL and translated that into a career that goes far beyond football, an individual that has outstanding philanthropic endeavors, and somebody that we now hope is an honorary member of Gray Bears Nation. Let's welcome to the Gray Bears podcast, Kerry Rhodes.
Yeah.
Kerry, how you doing, man?
Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot. You guys, I've heard so much about you guys through my boy Lauren, so I had to hop on and see what you guys were about. So,
nice. So before we get into it, we need to know what Lauren said. Let's talk about it.
No. Before we'll get into that in a second.
He did say I should let my grades grow out. So I thought about it. Not ready for that yet, but you know.
I cut right off.
I was thinking you had an opportunity to play with Brett Favre, and you played against Tom Brady a lot. Yep. And I'm curious, what separated those guys? Like it's what we see from the outside, right? And their greats and all of those things. But there's got to be something else that makes them that allows them to play at the highest level of the sport.
Yeah. Good question. When you remove the hood and you look underneath and see what drives a person or what makes a person tick or operate, I mean, those are the characteristics when you look at players and what separates them on that top level. That's what separates them. You know, you have a Brett Favre who's not afraid of anything, but also he's been given the leeway to take risk and take chances at an early age, early on in his career, where as his career blossoms and grows, he doesn't even think about that. He's just out there playing the game and having fun, right? So that's what you take that from a Brett Favre and you kind of see that. Then you see a Tom Brady who was put in the system to succeed, and then he learns the game, like really, really learns the game and understands the nuances of the game. And then you see his brain and you pick him apart and you see his arm's not better than Aaron Rodgers. His mobility is not better than Lamar Jackson's, but why does he win? Because he knows the game. And so it's apples and oranges. They both won, but who's won more consistently? The guy that knows and thinks the game, right?
So just one more quick follow-up on that, because as a safety, you were the quarterback of the secondary. So what were the chess games like when you were looking at one of those great quarterbacks and you were figuring out what they were doing and they're trying to figure out what you're doing?
Yeah. I could outsmart Brett Favre, and that was 100% all time. Like I played them in Green Bay, and I know where his automatic look is going to go to just by the film study that I did, right? So we were in cover 4. He would try to hit the vertical from 3 all the time, right? And if they had a formation where 3 was streaking down the field to clear out, I know he was coming with 1 with the dig behind it. Like those things are just ingrained in my thinking as a player and as a student of the game, right? And so I remember in the games, I saw 3. He's throwing the ball here. So to even mess with him even more, I take a step the other way.
Wow.
Let him think he had it, right? And just pick it off and do my thing.
I got to follow up to that. So, you know, I grew up playing hoops, never played football, but in hoops there were moments, unfortunately, you would an offensive player would be getting the best of you, right? And one of your teammates might be like, yo, dude, let's switch, right? It's that type of thing. So were there any moments for you in your NFL career where you might have been really getting into it with another player, you know, talking a little shit, and you're like in man coverage, and then the defensive coordinator switched it up to zone, and you were like, oh, man, like I was coming for you?
Oh, no. That doesn't happen with me. I remember there was a lot of games because
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
That shit don't happen with me. No,
get him.
Hey, one of my strong suits and one of the biggest attributes that I had as a safety was my size, and my ability to cover. And so in my time, I played against so many great tight ends, man, and so many individual one-on-one battles with guys like Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Gronkowski when he was younger. I mean, I'm going to say this name, and I know it's taboo, but like Aaron Hernandez and those guys as well. So like,
no doubt,
the skill level at the tight end position it's been such a remarkable thing to see how fast and how big these guys are, right? So I used to have so many great battles, and you would see Dallas Clark as well from Indianapolis at the time. So just those individual battles, I relished them where a lot of guys couldn't do it one-on-one, I would literally tell the coach before the game, if we need a stop, I'm guarding that guy. And it's just like one-on-one in basketball. Like you have the LeBron James happen to go guard the best player in the game, in the game on the other team just to get a stop. So that was my mentality.
Green Beer Nation!